And good morning to this edition of Saturday Morning New Distributor Training. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Siege International, and yay, I get to be the trainer today, and I'm excited about it because I got a lot of things to share with you. So first things I want to do is I want to welcome all of you, and in particular, I want to welcome those of you that have been invited as a brand new distributor. I'm very excited to do this for new distributors because I get to share some of the things that I've learned over 30 plus years of involvement in this profession of the home-based business arena or network marketing, people-to-people marketing, relationship marketing. We use many different terms for it. But an opportunity to take back control of your life, to take back control of your finances, your time freedom, your capacity to do the things that are the most important things to you in your life. And so this morning we're going to cover a lot of different things, but I want to make sure that as you leave today, you have an outline to help guide you through the development of your business. And for many of you that I just stepped in here to look, I see we've got a number of our established distributors. Many of you are going to find this to be a great refresher or a way to help you refocus on the next 90 days. So I want to make sure you all get ready here. Grab your journal or your notebook or whatever it is that you are using to start accumulating the knowledge and the training that you're going to receive during your career here with us here in Siege International. I was very fortunate. 30 It's got to be fun watching me do math in my head, huh? 34 years ago, a little over about 34 and a half years ago, I left my previous career as a cross-country truck driver to get involved in this profession in network marketing. And over those years, I've accumulated, well, originally it was, notebooks like this, spiral-bound notebooks. They were real inexpensive. Today, I got these real fancy journals, leather bound. They got the little gold foil pages like your Bible, that little stringy thing that, marks the pages. But whatever it is that you've got to start with, make sure you're compiling this. Make sure you're starting to accumulate this knowledge. This profession has allowed me to do things that frankly, 99% of the people in the world wish they could accomplish, and maybe 1% of the people ever do. And I'm not sharing that I'm, kind of some kind of special guy. I really was a truck driver, but I just had the ingredients that are necessary for success, frankly, in any, profession, but in particular in our profession, the only requirements for success are, number one, willing to work. Got to have good work ethics to be successful at anything. Number two, willing to learn. You want to be coachable. Learn from the people who have demonstrated they know how to create success. Number three, burning desire to succeed. Why you need to be successful has to be important enough to carry you through all the challenges and obstacles that'll be that you'll have along the way. Now, especially for those of you that are brand new distributors, I want to give you a couple links. For those of you that are using your phones, tap the screen so you can bring up the little boxes and look for the chat window. Those of you on the computer can do the same thing. Thank you very much, Lorene. Success leaves clues. I'm just seeing all this. Good morning, Fred. Where's your fancy dancing? Yeah, I got to tell you, folks, while I share my playlist with you, those of you that show up in the morning early, you get a little extra benefit because you get to, I was about to say, hear what's on my mind. You don't want that, okay? It's like a three-ring circus going on up in here. People don't get it. I make this whole thing look easy. But you get to hear the things that I'm listening to. And just between me and you, it's really good stuff. Let's see. What a week we have. Oh, Pat Andersen's with us. Woohoo! Yeah. Some of you have noticed. Actually, her chat message was just to me. We have had one of the hottest cycles that we've had in I don't know how long. Okay, I really don't know how long. But what I'm going to do first, for those of you that are brand new distributors, understand that while we call this new distributor training Saturday morning, new distributor training, we don't do the same thing every single day. Okay, we want this to be an ongoing process where myself and other leaders in the Zija community are sharing and information, knowledge, experience, dialing down into particular areas that you're going to want to focus on for your success. However, for the brand new person, I need to direct you to a couple of things. If you look in your chat box, I'll give you a link that you can actually go to. I've taken the time to put together a few short video trainings that are, a compilation of 3 decades of experience focused specifically on the brand new distributor. So go to www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija / well, if you go there, you're going to see all of the presentations, our Thursday morning, Thursday evening business presentations, great presentations for being able to share our business, opportunity with other people. Great information for you as a brand new distributor. Our Saturday morning new distributors, mine and the other distributors that participate in that. But in particular, what I want you to do is I want you to go to the training section of that YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija / playlists. All right, now in that second link, you will find that there's only one playlist there right now. There's 4 little videos in it. The first one is new distributor training. And what it is, it's really kind of the what I was exposed to when I first joined this industry back in the mid '80s. My very first company has been historically known as providing some of the finest training in the multi-level industry. And I was exposed to the Saturday morning new distributor training every single Saturday morning for 2 years. And so I encourage you to listen to that first one. It's 30 minutes long. It's exactly what the brand new distributor needs to know. Okay, what do we do and how do we do it? What are the specific activities that are going to create success in your business, and what is the system that you're going to want to learn to implement those activities? And so I really encourage you to watch that, but don't watch it just once. One of my favorite lines, if you will, is watch it till you can teach it. Because if you can teach it, then you can create duplication. There are 3 more little videos in there, about 10 minutes apiece. And those 3 little videos, combined would be what I would call the fast start training. Okay, and you may want to put this in your notes. You'll agree with what I say a year from now if you do it. It is easier to get off to a fast start in our type of business than it is to get off to a slow start. Okay, if you're looking for a way, and I'm never going to say that anything that creates tremendous success is easy, but if you want the easiest path to significant success, getting off to a fast start is actually easier than getting off to a slow start. Now, those 3 additional videos, how to create a prospect list, but doing it like a professional. How to develop your Zija story. Your Zija story is going to be the key to developing your business. And a 90-day game plan. Every single high-level earner in our profession understands the concept of a 90-day game plan. So take that information in, get it underneath your belt as quickly as you can. My personal suggestion, I don't make money off the YouTube channel, so don't worry about that, but subscribe to the channel. That way, when a new training or a new presentation is posted, you'll be notified right away. Okay, so we got that going. Today I'm going to talk about for those of you that are on my email list or maybe plugged in with me on Facebook, you saw the invitation was the magic of momentum, and something that Pat Andersen just mentioned, but you didn't see it. She didn't send it to everybody. The fact of the matter is that we've got something going on within our company right now that is absolutely astounding. I'm going to talk a little bit about the three different forms of momentum here in a moment, but just be very clear on this. As we are speaking, Zege International is entering into what will be the most significant growth time in the history of the company. Some of you are familiar with Pat Andersen. Pat's one of our top income earners, has one of the largest growing organizations in the country. Pat, if you're open to it, I might bring you on here in a couple of minutes. Maybe just give me a little message if you'd like to, if you're able to come on and join me here in a couple of minutes, share what's been going on. But this is something that happens throughout the tenure of companies. I've been with this is my third company. The first company that I was with, they've now been in business approaching, what is it, 35 years, almost 40 years. Okay, the second company that I was with, they've been around equally as long. Zege International, the owner of Zege International, has built two companies that have been in business for 30 plus years and the other one for 40 plus years. I'm sharing that because it's so rare to find multi-decade long companies. But when you do, here's what happens. You typically have a prolonged period of time of establishing the company. So first several years, very limited growth. And then you'll go through a stage of momentum. Okay? And that first momentum stage can appear very spectacular for the people that have been with the company while the growth curve has been relatively flat. That first little mini stage, we had the, people like myself and Pat Andersen had the opportunity to be here with Zege when we went through that first little mini growth curve, and we went from, basically a $1 million a month business to, a $5 million a month business, then a $10 million a month business. And we made a lot of money, but that growth curve was insignificant compared to the one that happens when you grow from that $100 or $200 million a year business to the $500+ million a year business. I was with a company, the last company I was with them during that stage. And I was able to retire in just a few years because of the incredible amount of income that was created during that time. And we are entering into that period as we speak. Now, I want to talk about momentum. And I've got my little notes here. Some people think I just do this off the top of my head. I already told you, you don't want to see what's going on. There's like we got jugglers and, acrobats and all kinds of stuff going on there. But I want to talk about the magic of momentum, because momentum is kind of an interesting thing. It's a tool, okay? And like any tool, if you use it correctly, it can create tremendous leverage for you. Imagine trying to demolish a building without a sledgehammer, okay? If you're trying to do it with your little jeweler's hammer, you're never going to get it done. If you got a big old sledgehammer, you can start knocking out 2x4s and 4x4s and take the thing down. Momentum is a tool that you can use for your advantage. The key is getting in front of the momentum. Now, let me give you an example of momentum. A lot of people think they understand it, but you really don't, okay? How momentum is created takes a lot of energy. Example, most of you have flown on a jet airplane, jumped on at the airport and jumped on a jet and flown to, see grandma or whatever. Think about this, because you've already experienced this. When the airplane taxis up to the runway and then sets the brakes, it prepares to launch. The pilot goes full throttle, releases the brakes, and then the airplane starts to head down the runway, starting to increase speed relatively quickly. Note a couple of characteristics there. Came to the beginning of the runway and then went full throttle. Not partial throttle, not 3/4, 100% throttle, and maintained 100% throttle as the airplane started to pick up more speed. Eventually, hopefully before the end of the runway, there was enough momentum with that airplane that it was able to get up into the air. It overcame gravity and it started to rise. Now, Also, remember, the pilot did not throttle back once the airplane got off the ground. Maintained 100% throttle well into the flight. As a matter of fact, you'll notice that until you get to cruising altitude, the pilot does not throttle back. But you've also noticed when you hit cruising altitude, 30,000, 35,000 feet, depending on the airplane, that's when you felt the throttle back. And it felt like, oh my goodness, the airplane's slowing down, it's going to fall out of the air. No, what happens is that once it's well underway, the momentum will keep it going, and you do not need nearly the amount of thrust or energy to sustain that. I used to drive 18-wheelers. Matter of fact, I drove 18-wheelers, for years before I ever got my first airplane flight. But I understood momentum. One of the trucks I drove had a what's called a 4 and 5, basically 20 gears. I could use I go through 15 of those gears just to get up to like 45, 50 miles an hour. The last 5 gears would carry me from 50 miles an hour to, well, I don't want to tell you what the top end was, right? But the vast majority of energy was necessary to get the truck going. I would go, and you've heard trucks do this, you hear them going through the gears, they'll go 5, 6, 7 gears before they're even getting to, 20 miles an hour. Now, what you're trying to do is create a lot of energy to get the 80,000 pounds of truck and freight moving. But once you get it moving, it doesn't take nearly as much energy to keep it moving. But here's what happens. You bring it to a stop, and you have to go and reapply all of that massive amount of energy to get it going. Momentum is that analogy of momentum with vehicles is the same. The analogy works really well for all kinds of things, whether it be a sports team, whether it be your Zija business, relationships. The analogy works very well. It typically takes, fellas, think about this. Look at all the energy you put in to marrying your wife. Okay, you pulled out all the stops. I mean, you shaved every day, and you smelled good, and you washed every day, and now look at you. You're sustaining that relationship, and you're not shaving every day, and you're not showering every day. I don't know where that one came from. Sorry about that, but you get the point I'm making here. Now, in the world of business, network marketing, there are 3 categories of momentum that you need to be focused on. First category of momentum is your personal momentum. What are you doing on a daily basis? Are you doing the activities that create results? Because your personal momentum will then lead into the second category of momentum, which is your team momentum. Make no mistake about this. Your team momentum is a result of your momentum, okay? Your business success cannot wait for your team to get momentum, okay? You are the one that establishes that momentum. Your team can sustain momentum, but you have to establish that momentum. There's a third category of momentum, which is the company momentum. And that's the purpose or the reason or the rationale behind today's conversation, is because it is infinitely easier to create personal momentum and team momentum when you have the leverage of company momentum. And I'm gonna give you a little history here, okay? And I'm gonna be very candid. Zija International took quite some time to go into that first little curve, and that had everything to do with company momentum. There was none. There was no company momentum for those first, 4 or 5 years that Zija existed. But because of individual momentum and team momentum, it was created by some of the early leaders, we were able to create or instill company momentum. Now, company momentum, along with the teams, created that big wave that happened between, say, 2010, 2013. And there were a lot of us that made a lot of money. And more importantly, what we did is we set into place organizations that would carry the company through times that are inevitable times. There's never a situation where the growth curve is 100% vertical. There's always everything, whether, you've seen this with your children growing. They don't grow like this. There's little growth spurts, and then they stabilize, and the growth spurts and stabilize. Stock markets like that. Everything's like that. Nothing is ever a straight line up. And we went through one of those times, okay, where there wasn't significant increases, and it was time to retool the company, because we as distributors, we do the same thing, okay? We share the product, share the opportunity to teach others to do the same. We build distribution organizations, okay? We always do the same thing. It's independent of the products, the company. Network marketing is a distribution model. The variable is what's the product we're putting into the distribution model, okay? And of course, the other part of variable is, the company that's behind the product. That's what Zege is supposed to do. They're supposed to build the infrastructure of the company and create the products that we then put into our end of the relationship, which is the distribution part. So the company momentum has not been strong for a period of time. We've been retooling, and some of you that have been around for a while have seen some of that retooling. We've dramatically increased our infrastructure capacity to produce products. We have made some significant enhancements to our compensation plan. We have done some major restructuring at the higher levels of the corporate team leadership. Now, you combine that with an established, knowledgeable core distributor leadership base, and then add to that this brand new product division of CBD oils. It's it's a new product arena, and then Zege coming in with the Intune Mayo squares. Literally, we are blowing away the competition. There is no comparison of all the products in the CBD oil arena compared to ours. It's like the difference between a 1978 Yugo car and my Formula One inspired V10 SMG BMW M-Class car. I mean, there's just no comparison. All right, both of those vehicles are, have four wheels and an engine, but there's no comparison in terms of performance, technology, and so on. You combine all of those things together, and that is the incredible sweet spot that's going to establish phenomenal company momentum. Now, there is a major advantage to being in an environment where you have that third component of momentum, company momentum. When you have company momentum, and then this is the part you're responsible for, you then focus on the first category of momentum, personal momentum, your personal activities, which will then create the team momentum. And that is the formula. That's the recipe for million-dollar earners. And that's where we are. And folks, it's really good to be that guy that, I told you so, and it happens. But 60 days ago, at the beginning of the Zege One Leadership Conference 90-day program, we started with the first 30 days, the sprint to summer. 60 days ago, I told you we were about to enter a phase in Zege that either you're going to wish you'd been here or glad you were, okay? And guess what happened here, this first cycle of that third 90-day game plan? Blew the doors out, okay? We had a buy two, get one promotion. It established incredible momentum. I want to go through a couple of other things, and then perhaps if Pat's available, she can kind of share what's going on with her organization. I want to talk a little bit about the 3 stages of momentum. And it's been a couple of months. As a matter of fact, I was looking at my notes, the beginning of April, so 2 months ago, at the beginning of the 90-day game plan for the ZJ One conference, I talked about this. And I talked about how important it was that you get focused then on establishing momentum. The 3 stages of momentum. Number 1 is establishing momentum. And number 2 is sustaining momentum. Number 3 is advancing momentum. Now, how do you establish momentum? Real simple. Do the specific things that we do that are as distributors that create productivity. Okay? I'm not talking about designing your business cards. I'm not talking about doing webinars like this, although this falls into part of that category. You know, Facebook postings. None of that stuff, unless it specifically addresses these 3 issues. Number 1, are you sharing the product? That's the most important thing. Share our product. Number 2, share our income opportunity. People say, well, which is most important? They're both important. Number 1 is what we do. We share our product. Number 2 creates leverage by sharing our opportunity to develop other team members who are sharing the product. Finally, number 3, teaching others to do the same. So somebody really good at sharing the product might need to learn how to share the opportunity better. But the real key is to be teaching others how to do that, because that's where the leverage comes from. Now, how do you establish momentum? Share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. And you can do that in 30 days. You can establish significant momentum in your business in 30 days. Now, how do you sustain that momentum? You do the same thing again with another group of people. You sustain your momentum because in that first 30 days, the customers you get going, distributors you get going, some of them are going to really take off. Some of them won't. Okay? You don't have a control over that. You only have control over you and what you do. Now, you can sustain momentum by bringing more customers, more distributors to the table. How do you advance that? Do it again. Because after the second round, and let's say first 30 days, establish momentum. Share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. Second 30 days of your 90-day game plan, sustain that momentum by bringing in your freshman class. But by the time you get to that third, month of your 90-day game plan, you've got a tremendous amount of traction from the people that were there the first month that stuck and stayed. People that are there the second month continuing into their second month. And if you do it again, you will advance momentum. It's a concept of a 90-day game plan. And folks, it is so simple that most people overthink this. If there's a singular thing that I can say defines the difference between high-level achievers in our type of business versus people who wish they were, it's a capacity to every single morning wake up excited about the day's activity and focusing on stage 1 actions. Share the product with somebody new. Share the opportunity with somebody new. Follow up on the people you shared the product and the opportunity with yesterday. Teach the ones that want to go with you how to do what you just did. That's the hardest part of what we do, is it's consistently doing the same thing over and over and over like it was your very first day. Now, I'm going to cover a couple of things for you that are challenges that you need to be aware of. All right, and then we're going to open this up for questions and answers. There's always going to be challenges, folks. Okay, don't for 1 second think that any of the people that you see in the leaderboards or the videos of ZJ, don't think for a second that this was an easy deal for us. Okay, it wasn't. It's like anything else. Who do you know got rich by not doing anything but buying a lotto ticket? Okay, I don't know any of those people either. Okay, now, do people get rich buying lotto tickets? Yes. the statistics are 5 years and lotto winners are right back where they were. Why? Because they never did work for it. They never understood what to do with the money. Okay, nobody creates true significant success and long-term success without going through this process. But there's always going to be challenges. Okay, I'm going to give you a little phrase, and it's going to be very illustrative of what you need to do. Okay, how you do a thing is how you do everything. It's just human nature. How you do a thing is how you do everything. If you look at the things that you're involved in, I'm trying to find a way to say this without, making everybody mad at me. For most people, whatever it was that was their passion, golf, the garden, water skiing, writing the novel, whatever, they start and do a little and then stop. Okay, how you do one thing is typically how you do all things. It's very rare that you find somebody with extraordinary success in one area of their life and see that high level success in all areas of their life. I mean, it's typically that the congruence is that most people that have modest success in all areas of their life. It's just a personality type, but that doesn't mean it's ingrained. Okay, that doesn't mean you can't change that. You can focus on specific things and focus on your capacity to be consistent, and that's really what it comes down to. Some of you, and I'm looking here, probably the only person that really knows is Pat Andersen. I'm approaching 40 pounds weight loss since I've been on Zija. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm going to be 65 here in a couple of weeks. And I got to tell you, I feel better today than I can ever remember feeling. Okay, period. Now, and I look a whole lot better too, let me tell you. Now, why is that? Because everything I've ever done in my life, I've had to struggle with. Nothing has been easy for me. I've had a number of disadvantages that I'm not going to bother to go into because nobody feels sorry for me anymore. All right. And I don't care whether people feel sorry for me or not. I didn't feel sorry for me. All I knew was that I had the traits to be successful at anything I desired to be successful at. Write this in your notes. Here's the number one success clue. Consistency of effort and persistency of effort overcomes all obstacles. Okay, every deficit in my life, I've always had to study harder than most people to get good grades. I've always had to take 2x, 3 times as long, reading a book to be able to read the book. I was never a strong guy. I was always, the tall, skinny kid. All the things that everybody else could do easily, I could do equally as well because I was willing to do it over and over and over and over again until I accomplished it. Consistency of effort and persistency of effort overcomes not some obstacles, not most obstacles, overcomes all obstacles. Now, this is going to, it's going to offend some people. All right. Everybody wants to get rich, but not everybody's willing to do what they need to do. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Okay. We're at a point in time in the development of Zija, we're only looking for the people that are willing to do what they want, what they say they're going to do. Okay? And for me personally, I really don't care if somebody's goals are to make $1,000 a month, $200 or $300 a week. That's the backbone of our Zija business, our Zija distributor base, are people creating a part-time supplemental income around their life, not interfering with their life, and having fun and doing good for people. Okay, and I want you to think about this. What would an extra $10,000 or $15,000 a year from a part-time home-based business mean to your family, mean to the families of most Americans? It would be life-changing. Whether that's your goal or whether your goal is to make $1,000 a day, by the way, $1,000 a day puts you in the top, well, pert near top 1% of earners in the country. Whatever your goal is, just do the things that are necessary. Don't talk about it, do it. See, write this in your notes. All distractions are equal. Okay? And people that are high level performers get this because they hear it all the time from the people that wish they could had their lifestyle, but they don't. Okay? All distractions are equal. Give you an example. The weather is so bad, nobody wants to come to my meeting, or that's a distraction, right? The weather's so great, everybody's at the beach, nobody wants to hear about my business. Okay, all distractions are equal. And when you have the mindset that whether things are going well or they're not going well, that doesn't change what you do. Okay, think about this for a minute. If your life depended on it, would you accomplish your activities today despite the challenges, despite the distractions? And I get, well, but you don't understand, Fred. This happened to my mom. This happened to my son. This happened to here. This and I get it. There'll be times when for an hour you maybe have to regroup. I was 5 minutes late getting this started. You don't even want to know what was going on because I never start late, and I was 5 minutes late today. Okay, all distractions are equal. In fact, a lot of this training got put together while I was trying to fix put out the fires that were going on, an hour before the training started. This is what separates the people that have accomplished the things that they want versus the ones that wish they could. Now, I'm going to suggest to you, we started in April. We had a perfect 90-day game plan. We had kicked it off with a massive momentum that came out of our Sprint to Summer campaign for that first period 139. That set up a perfect 90-day game plan for period 140, 141. The goal was to be qualified to attend the ZJ One Leadership Conference. We are in that final third of that program. Some of you have been focused consistently for the past 60 days and the next 30 days to complete the 90-day challenge. You're right on the money, you're right on the mark. Some of you weren't. You can make that decision today. Today can be the beginning of your 90-day game plan. You are in a position today where you can still qualify for the ZJ One Leadership Conference that will happen in October. We've got 3 weeks. We have people that have done that in a week. Is it going to be easy? No. Okay. Is it possible? Yes. Will there be people that signed up today in ZJ that in the next 3 weeks will qualify to be at ZJ One Leadership Conference out of the gate? Absolutely. It has everything to do with your personal momentum, leveraging the company's momentum, and your personal activities will create the team momentum. So I could spend more time talking about this, but what I really want to do, let me just check. See, Pat, are you good for me to bring you over right now? Pat, you're going to have to give me a thumbs up or something because I'm not going to bring you over if we're not able to do that. Because I don't want to bring Pat Andersen over to this side of the webinar and she's in hair rollers or whatever. But what I am going to do here is yes, very good. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, Pat, I'm bringing you over right now. Folks, let me just do a quick introduction here. For those of you brand new, you don't know Pat Andersen. Pat is one of our company's top 10 earners. Hey, Pat, how are you? Oh, my goodness, you're out in the sun? Oh, let me unmute you here. You might have to unmute yourself. Tap your little speaker button.
I
can hear
did.
you. There we
You
go.
hear me
Gotcha.
now?
Gotcha. Yeah. How you doing?
Okay. Exhausted after last night.
Yeah. Huh?
Absolutely crazy. Oh, that's all right.
Folks, give me just say Pat Andersen for our new people. She's a Diamond Elite, top 10 earner, one of the most successful, one of those recognized leaders in Zija. Got one of the fastest growing organizations. And she didn't join Zija to make the money. She joined Zija because of the product. Okay, but she found a path to create leverage residual income. Pat, talk to us about what's happening with the company and your team right now.
Well, let's talk about all Zija because it's going crazy everywhere. You know, we talked about a few weeks ago, we were up 170%. I think we probably last week went 300% at least. Yep. It was just unbelievable, records breaking everywhere, ranks breaking everywhere because of the Intune promotion. This is the hottest thing that we've ever had. You know, I think it's hotter than when we brought in the weight management because everybody's in pain, okay, of some sort, or stressed or whatever. And these Intune patches are squares really help with all those kinds of problems. And I guess it's because we don't have to educate. You know, everybody seems to know what a CBD oil is. And so I have people that are joining my business that wouldn't join with the moringa because it was too hard, they said. But now, you know, I'm breaking ranks with them. You know, just broke a silver with somebody that was flatly refused to get into network marketing. So it's really, really exciting. I see people that have been in Zija for a long time getting re-engaged, and you know, the fire's lit under them. But I really liked what you had to say today, Fred. There are challenges. When you start to grow, and we got a brand new management team that is doing the very, very best they can. But there are challenges. And, you know, I'm as frustrated, I'm going to tell you, as anybody else. But if we can work through these challenges together, what's going to come out at the other end is something you won't believe. And I really, truly believe that. I know the vision. You know, I've talked with people like Reed Nelson, who's been in the industry over 46 years. He's seen these trends all the time. He's gone through challenges where people didn't get product for 6 months and they grew like you wouldn't believe. Well, at least we're getting our product. You know, there might be other things that we hate, but we're getting our product, and we're getting paid. You know, that's a big one. So, you know, we've got to kind of give, in some respects, give Corp a little slack as they clean up a lot of challenges that they have. And I think in the next 6 months, we're going to have a total new look in our company. You know, I can't wait for the 6 months. I just want to get to the 6 months like right now.
See, and folks, you know, I love Pat so much because she ain't nothing but real. Okay. You know, yes, we're working hard. Why are we working hard? But, you know, and folks, you don't understand. Pat Andersen doesn't have to work hard. She doesn't need this. She's got a number of other businesses. She does this, one, because it's exciting. It's helping a lot of people, but there's so many team members that we're committed to helping them create their level of success. I mean, that's really the sign of leadership. Just because we got ours, we're not ready to go, because we got to help our people get theirs. But yeah, you know, that's being real. Hey, I wish we were on the other side of the next 6 months too. You know, I need to get a nap.
I definitely do.
But Pat, listen, in closing here, if there was one thing you could share in particular, well, let's take two categories of people. People that have been around for a while. They've been watching what's happening with Zija. You know, maybe, you know, geez, I wish I would have been back there in the beginning with you guys. you know, and I'm sure that the words to that category of people be the same to what would you suggest to a brand new person today to take advantage of what's going to happen over the next 24 to 36 months? Because we're in a position, the next 24 to 36 months will change people's lives if they do what they need to do.
Well, right now I am working with a bunch of people on a mentorship program, and we are really looking at our goal. What do you want? And if you don't have them wrote down and visible all the time, you're going to forget about them and you're going to slack off. And so I really think we need to go back to the basics of that, Fred, and, you know, find out from our people and find out deep down inside us, what do we want in 6 months? What do we want in 1 year, 5 years? You know, you have to have the goal, the vision of where we're going right now, okay? Or else, what are you doing? You're just spinning your wheels. And so you know, even myself right now, I'm revamping my goals as to where I want to be in the next 6 months through all these challenges. But more importantly, where my goal is, where I want to help the team to be in the next 6 months to 1 year. And so get your pen and paper, guys, and start writing down. When it's in your head, it doesn't come to fruition. It has to be on paper.
Excellent. Folks, you heard it from one of the best. I learned a long time ago, you know, don't follow what the masses do, follow what the leaders do. Success leaves clues. Find out who's the best and do what they're doing, and Pat just shared it with you. Pat, great to see you. I know there is no time for a nap, but maybe get a little tiny one in there before we launch here in another hour, right? I love seeing you relaxing in that.
Okay, buddy.
That's killer. Thank you, Pat. I'll send you back to the other side. Congratulations, by the way. Your team broke
take care.
ranks this week. All right, we're going to let Pat go back. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've really got the best of all worlds right now. We've got company momentum. We've got the infrastructures in place. We've got the award-winning superstar corporate team that's jumping in with both feet. And frankly, if you can imagine the level of intensity that our top field leaders are working at, that is being matched by our new corporate officers, our new corporate team. They're doing an incredible job. And, you know, there's always going to be challenges, folks. Just figure that one out. And you choose. I'm going to tell you, you know, while there's challenges in my life, I learned a long time ago, I can either have challenges and be broke, or I can drive to the challenge in my BMW M6, and I can deal with the challenges on an exotic beach. You know, there's just some advantages to being able to deal with whatever problems you have when you have the financial resources to do that. So we've come to the end of our allotted time. Want to give you just a couple of quick updates here for this upcoming week. The people that are making the greatest amount of increase in their business, they're doing some very simple things. They are plugged in. Okay, are you plugged in to a standard routine of product presentations, business presentations, and trainings? We have lots and lots of people that participate in this Saturday morning webinar, and frankly, more people from other organizations than ours. That's why, you know, Pat Andersen, myself, everything we've ever done for the 11 years that we've been with this company has always been oriented as a ZJA presentation, not our team presentation. And we're incredibly pleased that people recognize that. I want each one of you to plug into your upline diamond leadership, black diamond leadership, diamond elite leadership. Many of those people have tremendous resources for you. And feel free to utilize these resources to augment what your individual leaders are doing, okay? Not to replace, but to augment. Wednesday evenings, 9:30 East Coast time, Pat Andersen does a Health Talks presentation. You can access that at www.clubmoringa.com. Clubmoringa.com. Thursday evenings, myself and other field leaders, we do a business-focused presentation. That can be accessed on the same link every single week. I post it on Facebook. It's in my team email list and so on. The same link that you used to get here today. Pat Andersen archives her Health Talks presentations on her clubmoringa.com website. The Thursday night business presentations are archived on my YouTube channel. I gave you that address earlier at the top of the hour. It's www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. Saturday morning, every Saturday morning. The Thursday night Biz Talks presentations an hour earlier. It's at 8:30 East Coast time. Saturday mornings, we do it again. We'll have another Saturday morning training. Myself or one of the other field leaders will be doing that training. And again, the foundational knowledge, the new distributor training, the fast start training, that's on the YouTube channel. Every Saturday morning, we're going to have something a little bit different to dial deeper into depth on. Let me double check and make sure that we've got here. Thank you very much. Man, I'll tell you what, you guys need to pay attention to this, the chat, the Zoom webinar chat box. Lorene Best, she really does a great job of captioning all of this. For those of you that are not yet engaged or plugged into the corporate communication, be part of the corporate communication on Facebook. She's got 2 links there. Zija Champions is the primary vehicle for corporate to be disseminating, moment-to-moment updates and information. And so go to facebook.com/groups/Zija Champions. You can't search for Zija Champions because it's a hidden group, but it's an open group. All you got to do is click on, either click on the link that Lorene just put in the chat box, or go to facebook.com/groups/Zija Champions and enroll. Okay, you'll be asked your name and your ID number just to make sure we're not getting any spies in the group. But get involved in that. All right, so we're there at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for Pat for jumping on and sharing a little bit of what's happening with us. And Lorene Best, always appreciate all that you do on the back end here in the chat, because your stuff is good. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend, and let's fire it up. Oh, by the way, buy one, get one. BOGO for cycle 2 is on our more clear water filtration products. If you don't have one yet, you need to buy one. We've been using it in our home ever since the very first units were available to be purchased. It's the only water I'll drink. But you have the opportunity to buy one and get one free. So now you can have 2. You can have one for your use, one to demonstrate, or go sell that one and get yours at half price, or free if you want to have them pay full price. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you Wednesday night, Health Talks with Pat. Thursday night, Biz Talks. I'll be covering that. And we're done. See ya.